In this video, we will be discussing few examples on data validation. Here, we'll see how we can use the custom option to apply a formula inside data validation. Just go ahead and open the file which is 1204 other data validation examples. The very first sheet we have is exercise 1203A. Here, we need to apply a rule on the cells so that it will accept only those values which are text. It happens a lot, isn't it? So just see how we can do that. So first I'll remove it and I'll select all the cells in which user can put a value. I'll go to data and click on this data validation, and now over here there is nothing that can accept only a text. So that is why we'll go with custom, and over here we'll say equals to, and now this formula will check whether the content of the cell is text or not. For that we have an information formula which is known as is text bracket open, and we'll select the very first cell. We'll close down the bracket and we'll press OK. Now this formula will make sure that only a text entry can be accepted. So I'll type in any number. See this, I need to retype it. I'll say apple. I'll press enter. It will accept it. Let's move on to the next example. In this example, we need to make sure that whatever entry is being made should be larger than the value which was entered in the previous cell. So let's see how we can do this. First, we need to select the cells, but in this case, we'll select from the next one. Then we'll go to data validation, and there we'll go with custom, and here we'll say equals to this cell should be greater than this cell. Then we'll press OK, and now for example, if I type in 10, if I try to put 2 over here, it will not accept it. If I type in 11, it will accept it. So this is how we can create this rule. Let's move on to the next example. Here we have to make sure that if some data has been entered, should not be duplicated or entered twice in this range. For example, if you are giving a form with the field which is employee ID, so someone should not, one employee ID, an employee ID is unique, so it should not be duplicated in the list. So the same case over here. First we need to select the range, then we'll go to this data and data validation. Again we need to create a formula, and that will be, we'll go with custom, and in the formula we'll write equals to count if, it will try to count if inside this range. So one problem is there that when you try to put any formula inside this custom, will not able to see the syntax of the formula. So if you do not remember the syntax of count if, you can open up over here first and check the syntax out. Else the syntax is range comma criteria. So first I have given this range. I am pressing F4 on my keyboard so that everything should be freezed, comma criteria will be the first cell, and we will not freeze it so that it will get repeated for everyone, and I'll close down the bracket. So this formula will try to count the B5 for this complete range and the next cells for this complete range. Now the condition is this count should be equals to 1. That is the condition. Now if I press OK and try to type in any value, let's say 1, 2, 3, again 1, it will not accept it. Even anywhere, if you can see, it will not accept it. Let's say over here, if I type in 1, it will not accept it. So I hope you got the idea that how we can avoid any duplicacy while getting the data. Let's move on to the next worksheet. Sometimes it happens that in different companies, employee ID starts with a particular alphabet or maybe vehicle number. So these kind of thing happens. Maybe a PAN number or a social security number. So if you want to get an entry and that should start with a particular character, you can define it in data validation. As in this case and in this range, we want the entry should start with an alphabet A. So we'll select it first and then we'll go to data validation, and over here we'll go with custom equals to, and you know that if I want to take out the first character from the left of a name, the formula is left. I'll open up the bracket and the cell, this one, comma 1 you can write, or this comma 1 is optional, because if you'll not fill this argument, it will automatically take the very first one. So for the convenience, I'm just typing in comma 1. I'll close down the bracket. This itself means that from the left hand side of cell B5, the very first character, that's it. So what we are trying to say is the very first character should be equals to an alphabet A. Because it's a text, that's why I'm putting it in inverted commas or double quotes. That's it. We'll press OK, and now if I type in, let's say, app, and if I say dog, it will not accept it. Apple, and there we go. So I hope you got the idea. Let's go to the next worksheet and see what else we can do with data validation. Here we need to apply a rule on the cells so that it will accept an entry that should start with A and should be of 5 characters. So let's see. First we'll select the cells, then we'll go to data validation. Now basically these are two rules. First, it starts with A and have 5 characters. So that is why we are going to use A and D and formula. So it will make sure that two things go in at one go. So equals to and bracket open. Now the first condition that we have already discussed in the previous worksheet, which is left parenthesis open, this comma 1 equals to A, as in it starts with A. Next thing is character should be 5. So you know that to find out the length of the characters, the formula is len. So len, len, parenthesis open, and length of this cell is equals to 5, bracket close. So in total, this AND formula will make sure that these two conditions should be true simultaneously at one go. So I'll press OK now, and if I type in, let's say B1, 2, 3, 4, it is 5 character, but it starts with B. When I press enter, it will not accept it. But in case if I start with A and 1, 2, 3, 4 characters, if I press enter, it will accept it. Let's see what we have on the next worksheet. Here, another very beautiful example. We need to make sure that whatever date that we put over here should be a Monday. So first we will select all the cells and then we'll go to data validation, and to find out a day out of a date, we have a formula which is known as weekday. So we'll come over here and we'll select custom, and we will say equals to weekday, parenthesis open, and this cell. We'll close down the parenthesis, should be equals to 2. Why 2? Because this weekday starts with Sunday, and Sunday considered as 1 and Saturday considered as 7. So accordingly Monday is 2. I'll press OK, and if I try to put any date, it will accept only Monday as a day. So let's say 5th of September 2016 is a Monday. So when I type in and if I press enter, it will accept it. But when I write in 6th of September, it will not accept it. I hope now you got a fair idea about using data validation in different scenarios. Keep on exploring and try to apply this in your work. Thank you.